Oh, I didn't see you there. I was eating some vintage Christmas food. Put that back. You know what time it is? It's the time of the year to feel happy and grateful with little reindeer. It is that time when little snowmen will come to life and eat your children. The year when penguins will tend to dance instead of sing, because that's a big thing. And it's the time of year when we go into our national forest, cut down trees, and decorate them like a dead body over a killer's room. I don't know. And you're asking, why aren't you wearing a Santa hat? Isn't that the main thing about Christmas? Well, that's overrated, especially those ones with the little elf ears. It's stupid. No, this isn't that. We are having red bandanas. I mean, it's cooler, it's cheaper, and I look like Ryu from Street Fighter. So really, there's no real downside to this. This is a little jingle bell. And you should call my reindeer of my own. Oh, Gordy. Gordy. He's not coming. So, here on this Christmas special of the year 2014, going on to the new year, but that's a different holiday, 15, I'm going to share almost 3 different stories for you guys over the years of Christmas. Now, these ones are the lost children, the ones we don't talk about anymore due to copyright infringement, horrific scenes, or some nudity. So don't worry. You're going to be in for a worldwide supreme. Now, let me just finish my binge meal. Speech impediment. Vintage meal. And we shall get right on the track. Oh, I shouldn't keep you waiting. Let's do it right now. Ever heard about drinking eggnog and cookies? Well, now we're not going to do that. It's stupid, okay? We're going to drink Kool-Aid because it's awesome, and we're going to drink nothing. Or eat nothing, because that just gets rid of the taste to it. Especially with Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid best. Right, Gordy? I forgot you're not wearing a collar, you little dork. Get over. Nah, you're a little dork. Okay, like I said, I am going to read you guys three different stories from the magical book that I have with me today. Now, these stories, like I said, are 3 stories that are... What are you doing? Are 3 stories that aren't really told often due to 3 reasons. The first one, copyright. Second one, gruesome things. And the third one, for some nudity. We're not going to talk about the third one, so let's just go straight to the fourth one. The fourth one, the secret one we never talk about. And we'll find out why we don't talk about that story. So, let's start off by reading the first story. Whew, got my reading glasses on like old Saint Nick. That's his name, right? Got a cough. Anywho, this is that time to read the story about Santa and the Coca-Cola copyright placement. Let's read. So, Santa and the Coca-Cola copyright placement. Long time ago, in the year 1939, there lived this one fat, jolly little man. His name was Santa. Santa, who lived with all his little elves and reindeer. He was like, he wasn't getting much publicity. It was the shortest of years where kids weren't saying in letters. So, Santa came in with a good idea. He came to 3 different companies to support him at that time. The first one was the Postal Service, considering they both had a kind of similar thing. However, due to the fact that the Postal Service does the same thing Santa kind of does, no one really liked that. So, he didn't like that. And then the second one was the weirdest, was Walmart, because they sell things, so Santa has to buy things from Walmart. But considering the poor placement Walmart has, and considering it was the 30s and Walmart didn't even exist, he wasn't able to. And the last one was Coca-Cola, that drinking company. That drinking company. So he was like, you know what, this tastes pretty good. I like this. I'm going to join it. And the guy Palm. He was like, can I sign with you guys? He's like, yes, at cost. He's like, well, what's the cost? Well, this is Coca-Cola, right? He's like, yeah. So Santa was like, why do you need me to do that? I don't. And he tells people tell him, oh, Santa, we don't need you to do much. Just on Christmas Day, we need you to run 5 different packages. That's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packages to these 5 different places all over the world. He's like, sure. What are those places? Well, the first place is Mexico. Second place is Brazil. Third place is Colombia. Fourth place, New York. And the 5th place is Las Vegas. And he tells Coca-Cola, well, what are in these packages? And they're like, oh, nothing. They're, as you say, very strange and unusual. Hey, Gordy. You hear anything? Okay. I just wanted to know my parents are home. God, no, I need to take these off. These are really hurting my eyes. So Santa was like, okay, I'll sign with you. And you could just use that as your Christmas list, too. I hope you're a good boy. And Coco was like, oh, shut up, Santa. No, seriously, shut up, Santa. So, basically, on Christmas night, the elves were really, really acting strange. And then, to the point where they were sent into, I have an itch on the freaking headband, sent to the infirmary. And Santa's like, well, elves, why are you sent to the infirmary? And they're like, no reason. He's like, let me smell you. And he's like, no, let me smell you. And he's like, no. And he smelt it. Coca-Cola. He's like, why? He's like, oh man, Santa, we just got to the packages, man. And one of them started having barreling, and then one of the reindeer started going wild, and one of the elves named Jerry, he pulled a gun out. He was going to shoot Santa, but he realized he couldn't live with that, so he almost shot himself. He was sent straight to the infirmary because he just did a bunch of Coca-Cola. People make that joke about Coke and cocaine. Well, you don't know why? Because that was actually used, and we all know the story. That's what I'm going for. I'm not original. I never said I was. You sowed your fate when you watched this. It's just me, Gordy. Calm down. I'm just shouting. Santa was displeased. Santa realized that he was played like a damn fiddle, and he went straight to CC headquarters. Anyway, so Santa goes to CC Coca-Cola headquarters. Tells them, hey, I know what you put in here. And then Coca-Cola's like, oh, really? Hey, yo, Sleazeball, why don't you go take care of this food? So Sleazeball, the main Italian mobster, pulls out his crowbar and says, hey, yo, Santa, you know how Doc said you're going to be, if you eat any more cookies, your leg ain't going to work? Well, I'm going to make that come sooner. So he hits him in the back of the knee, Santa on the ground, and another swipe, and then Santa grabs a crowbar and stabs it right in his throat and pushes him down the stairs because he was at the top. And then the main mobster, Coco, was like, yeah, yo, shoot at him. So all the other monsters start shooting at Santa. Oh, but Santa came prepared. He brought his E unit, which is like the G unit, but with E. So he came up, and all his little elf men, they come in and they bust down the door, and they start opening fire, and only the fact that all they had was Nerf guns lying around. They didn't really have none. But they were confused. They didn't know that. Okay, one of them had a BB gun, and that hurt like hell. What are you doing? And ooh, ladies. And so, oh, I'm on the wrong page. That's the wrong story. Gold, of course. But anywho, so Santa goes, "Oh, you thought that was gonna take me down?" As he meets with him in the parking lot, and you know the mobster Coco was dragging his leg because he must have sprained it while walking out, and he shouts, "Coco!" Coco don't answer. He shouts, "Coco!" And they were about to quick draw, but Santa got the best of him. He shoots him in the leg, and he ties his leg to the back of a car. He sets the car in neutral, and the building blows up in the background. And the car goes forward and keeps driving straight forward. And then all the cars start exploding, and Santa pulls out his sleigh and flies away as the cars explode. And the car that's dragging Coco explodes and kills him instantly. As you look up, the cars make a shape in the sign of a present. So it was the day on Christmas was the best in the world, because now everyone can dream of a world where, you know, drug war didn't happen. And Santa rest easy, knowing full well his next day. Santa had these words to say. Santa Claus is dead. He died with the rest of his elves on that night. The resulting clause, an only clause, to protect justice and punish those around the world. The That was a good story, right, Gordy? Yes. So, I will, I'm gonna go refill me some cuckoo laid. And, yeah. Oh, God, carpet! Oh, hi. Come back, I see. Oh, good, because you're going to be here for a long time, buddy. There is no clear escape of when you can leave, and I intend to keep it that way. So, without further ado, here's our next story. This one I said was never released because it was just too... He's being weird. It's too violent. You go, how violent could it be? Well, this is this bizarre... copyright, that's right. This is the weird journey of... We can't say that? The weird journey of why we have to... He's not even the best... What works, I guess. You better get paid for that. Was... Really? Elf Toro. Yeah, and this is his weird journey. Let's take a look. Ooh, that's tick. And the story begins in 1986. We can use that. 1986 North Pole. Now, to the world, Santa doesn't exist. And to the elves, Santa doesn't exist. Santa just doesn't. However, only one elf knows the truth. One elf knows the truth. Santa does exist in his mind. But to the other elves, they make the toys, and no one really delivers them but the elves. Santa doesn't do anything, because Santa doesn't exist. However, Elf Toro, the elf, he was a delinquent, but really smart nonetheless. He goes and doesn't want to make toys because he knows Santa will. And so everyone's like, oh, why don't you believe in Santa? Well, he's like, oh, I believe in Santa, why don't you? And they're like, because he's not real. We make the toys, we do all the work. This made, oh god, I can't breathe. This made Elf Toro so angry that he pointed at him, because he knows no violence. However, 5 of the elves who were standing in front of him get pushed back by an immovable force. They don't know what it was, but they knew it was some sort of strange little demon. So, inside of him, like an evil spirit. We can say that. We're getting copyrighted now. So, Elf Toro was like, yeah, what Elf Toro said. That's what, okay. So, Elf Toro was like, Elf Toro is like, man, there's an evil spirit within me, I must go on my own. However, and a force of rage, distraught, anger, and seclusion from the other ones. Even seclusion from the girl he loved, Arena. That's an entirely different arc. Why do you make me... Oh, God. If you're funny me, better go. Arena. God. Arena, who is in love with the head elf. I can't... Let's call him Elfo. Elfo. Who's in love with the head elf, Elfo. Who is one of the big three people who led the entire place. However, Arena was one of the main popular girl elves, so everyone liked her. Elfo was one of the popular males, so of course they're going to be together. However, Elfo didn't really like Arena, and Arena actually liked him back. So, Elf Toro really likes Arena, but Arena doesn't want to be seen with him, but knows deep down inside her heart he likes him. She likes him, but is distraught because she actually likes Elfo. So in distraught of anger in front of her, he releases a spear from behind his back, Santa. Or in this case, Santa Platinum. Santa Platinum is what you call... We can't call it those? What are we supposed to call them then? There's no synonym for that. That's it. We won't get sued for that. Oh, yeah, we won't. A persona, which a manifestation that we call manifestations then. Okay, sell on manifestations. You fill out the paperwork, I do my job. Manifestation that came out of his body. The body of Elf Toro. This manifestation comes out of him. Oh my God, I need a drink. The manifestation which is relinquished from him. And everyone shouts, "It's the evil spirit!" And then Arena, with all the joy in her heart, looks at Elf Toro and says, "It's not. It's Santa." Everyone is filled with glee, except for Elfo. Elfo felt threatened. He's like, "What? You think, Arena, you think that this loser, Elf Toro, has a special power? I have a better one." And then everyone's like, "Ooh, really?" And everyone just forgets about Elf Toro, because that's what happens in real life. However, when he relinquishes his own manifestation, well, it's Christmas, can we just call them gifts? So he relinquishes his gift, and is like, "Oh, you thought yours was better? Well, here's mine." And instead of Santa, you know who it was? It was Frosty the Snowman. Ooh, I bet you didn't see that. You thought I was going to say somebody else, huh? So, it's really itchy. I gotta keep it on. It's really itchy. So Santa has to fight. So Santa, which is his manifestation, has to fight Frosty the Snowman, or as he calls it, the Frosty. Ooh, there's a little scent there. Ooh, that does smell good. Ooh, that does smell good. Ooh, wow. Anyway, there's a little something. Anyway, so Santa has to fight him, and Elf Toro has to fight Elfo, all for Arena. Because in his life, he's known Arena since they've all made it to middle school, and he really liked her since then. For about 3 years at that point, he really likes her, but Elfo doesn't really like her. But who's going to believe Elf Toro? He's a delinquent, right? So, Elfo is a... Oh, God. I'm lost in the story already. Elfo is ready to charge at him, but he realizes that Frosty the Snowman can freeze time, hence the name. So, you know what he does? He punches him in the stomach when time is frozen, so Elf Toro doesn't expect it. However, Santa blocks him, And Elfo's like, what? No, it can't be. Santa Platinum. And then he's going to give him the final blow to the face. But then Santa comes out and says, Aura! And punches him in the arm. And then Elfo's arm's like, and it starts bleeding. He gets punched all the way to a meat lock close by, leaving Elf Taro barely hurt, only a scratch in the chest. Right? And then, after a savage battle, which took place even over the pens where they were holding all the elves, elves, not the elves, those things he flies on, the reindeer. So, reindeer pens. He burst open that, all the reindeer clog open. So, Elfo, realizing he can't win this battle, especially with all the people hate him, which should happen. They all hate him. So, you know what he does? He grabs on the tail of one of them, right? But then, no, Elf Toro is smart. He uses his manifestation to cut off the tail, right? And which leaves him downstruck. However, there's a secret tunnel, but Elf Toro beat him to it. And smashes him. And he smashes him on the ground and throws her right in front of the crowd, right in front of Arena. So, Arena looks at Elfo and it's like, I don't really like you. And Elfo is like, I never really liked you to begin with. I only want you for glory. You were popular, I was popular. I was always using her. And she looks in disgust and spits on his face. And so Elf Toro comes back, and then he was gonna make his last move. Elfo says, "Time freezes the," and before he was able to finish it, Santa punches him in his face and just punching him in the face and leaving him beat up all over the face, and then he just flies away, and then he lands into the ocean where he freezes himself. How ironic. Arena goes over to her knight in shining. Well, not really, because it wasn't. Yeah, let's not be cliche about it. He goes over to Elf Toro and is like, I'm really sorry for what happened these past few weeks when I started dating Elfio. I never knew he never really liked me. He's like, don't worry. It's okay. As he's breathing heavily, he's like, why are you breathing heavily? I just fought a guy who can freeze time and a giant snowman. It's not going to feel good. She appreciates this and kisses him on the cheek. And they all lay down together. And the elves, they cheer at Elf Taro and Santa. And now everyone believes in the magic work of Santa. The end. However, the lesson here is never be afraid to. There's no real message here. It's based off of a lot of things. That's why it's violent. So many people got punched, almost stabbed, reindeers' tails got cut off. You get the point. It was almost like a martial arts film. However, we got one more story to shed. One more story. And that story will be told right after these commercials. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to look for my Christmas presents. Oh, hi. Oh, man. I'm really tired after that last one. So, I promised you a third one. The thirdest of all third stories to be. So, you're wondering, why can't you talk to us about the one about nudity? I'm like, well, because that's nudity. That shouldn't even happen. So I figured maybe I can tell you a different story. A true story. This one is within the book, but my own book. This is the story about a little doggy. His name was Gordy. Really? This is when you don't. What now, sucker? This is the story about this little dog right here. Right, Gordy? What? And how he became a reindeer for Rudolph. So, Gordy, why don't you tell him the story? What? I don't want to tell the story. It's a stupid story. I don't understand why I have to teach it. Because you're the one it happened to. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't have to do with anything. Yes, it does. What? I don't really want to. Don't then. You're not giving me any choice. No. I'm not giving you a choice. I really want a choice. It's my decision. I get to do what I want, you weirdo. Gordy. What? Look at the screen. And tell them I'm going to tell you a story, okay? I'm going to tell you a story. Wasn't that hard? Not really. Okay. So, Gordy. What? Take it away. It's a real good place to put you, huh? Okay, I'll just put you. Okay, Gordy, you ready? Okay. So, this is a story about when I was going to be a reindeer. So, when I was going to be a reindeer, I was looking for a job because I needed to support Andrew's lazy butt. Hey! Well, it was true. Well, that was kind of true. So, I needed to support Andrew's lazy butt. So, I took out a job application and filled it out. And Santa was hiring for new little reindeer. Like me. I'm a little reindeer. I can fly and everything. Whoosh. So, I was going to, I need to fly. And I was like, I need to fly. And then I was going to fly. Because I like flying. Because all I want to do is fly into a paradise. Oh, it's like I was... No. Don't. Alright, so, and now, I was like, I want to go and fly. So, I was going to sign up to be Santa's little reindeer. So I can fly. Now, I was going to fly that day. And they were going to try out. It turns out I can only fly like 2 inches in the air. Because I am a small little doggy. And so, they're like, I'm sorry, since you're not a reindeer, you can't do this. And it's like, oh, come on. How can I show you I can be a reindeer? So what happened, Gordy? Well, what happened was, I started to fly. And 3 inches off the ground. Okay? This is serious. Serious. This is serious little things. So, when I started to fly, I amazed everybody. Because I was just a doggy. And everyone likes doggies, and especially little corgi ones. So I was flying, and I was dancing. I was like, And I was going to fly over the place. And I was going to dance, and yeah. So, I tried out for the reindeer. I never became the reindeer, Andrew. Stop lying. This is not ribbon. And then... Really? You had to say him? I did. Okay, so, and basically, in all its pre-fences, I only was able to fly 3 baby little inches off the ground. But I made Santa pay because I worked for the little Easter Bunny. And I became the new colored berry Easter egg. More memorable than Santa. Right, Andrew? Sure. Now can I go? I really want to. Okay. I feel like there's more to that story, Gordy. Yeah, well, bite the bullet, Andrew. Bite the bullet. You're a weird little dog. But I probably made the entire thing. No, you didn't. Uh-huh. Nuh-uh. Mm-huh. Oh, Gordy. You may go now. And while I should do that, I should probably do that too. Because it's going to be amazing. We all hope you had a good time watching our little special here. Be sure to wait till next year so we have another special. And hey, Gordy, you know what we can do? What, maybe we can do a top 10 kind of thing? No. And we can go, no, Andrew, please don't. That's unoriginal. And we can say our favorite games of this year. No, Andrew, please don't. And maybe, no, Andrew, we can, no, Andrew, please stop. No, don't do that. Don't make a list about that. Okay, too many people have done that already. So maybe we'll do a top 10. No, Andrew, what did I just say? And, yeah. So we hope you have Merry Christmas. Andrew doesn't care. And, yeah. Right, Gordy? Right. Hey, Gordy, you know what we should need? Some new socks. Oh, Andrew, please don't do that. And, Gordy, maybe you should just... Andrew, please. Oh. Yeah.
Watching from the edge of the circus for the games to begin. Glad